Hey, it's like we've been gone forever.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
I have something for you. Talk to me, my dear friend. Thought you'd never ask. Here, all yours. Is that all? Home sweet home. Or bittersweet home, I suppose.
Constant row in the lodge.
No more Starborn have shown up. Yeah.
Constellation has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently.
I need to inventory all our equipment and other odds and ends for damages.
I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for signs of continued trauma.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind. But what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny white caps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything? Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend is gone. There's no afterlife, or second meetings. No God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending for him. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from it. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down, decomposes, gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere, we are simply carried away by space and time until we sizzle in a distant sun's corona or get pulled in some gravitational field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable? The thought that after I die, the universe is just going to stand still forever. Could you imagine? The fact is that the universe goes on, that life goes on, that things do not just sit still. That right there is the comfort that I need. Yeah, we die, and some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care. Not because it's evil, but because it's infinite, ever-expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity? Even if it's just for a short while. Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here, together.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. After the shock of what happened faded, I have felt nothing else. Just a numbness. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you. I am sorry. My head is swimming. I am reminded of how different Constellation works compared to what I am used to.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. Good. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. Very well. Individual depression can be considered a disease, but collective depression is considered therapeutic. Constellation's reduced capacity will no doubt make future work more difficult. Ceremonies for the deceased go back thousands of years to early human history. Ceremonies for the deceased go back thousands of years to early human history. Individual depression can be considered a disease, but collective depression is considered therapeutic.
I just need a little time to myself.
Yes, I remember you. The wedding. I was so happy for both of you. I wish the circumstances of my visit were better. Unfortunately, this isn't the first Constellation funeral I've been to. After 35 years, you say goodbye to a lot of friends. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I feel numb just thinking about it. Sarah meant the world to me. She was the future. I knew it as soon as I met her. Oh, yes. I was Sebastian Banks's protege, if that gives you any idea of how long I was part of our little club. Exactly the same as when you met her, I bet. Determined. Fearless. With just a small hint of delight on her face when she knew she was winning, eh? My only problem as a mentor was trying to convince her to be more tactful. Those old military instincts would always get her in trouble. Yes, she could make me so angry, or so happy. We used to joke that we were married. I bet relationships in Constellation are still messy, aren't they? They're more of a family than an organization. All the former lines bleed together. It makes the losses sting harder. But I hope it means the time you had together was all the more important. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Knew him, argued with him, tried to carry on his memory when he vanished. Sebastian will be back tomorrow, we always used to say. It reminded us that he was still here, in the bones of this old building.
Oh, I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Truly. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day. And yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening. I don't. Not for sure. It's all a theory, certainly, but it is completely supported by the data and observation, like all good science. It's the best we have to go on right now. It means it is ready to reproduce. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. My thoughts precisely. Now, as of yet, there has been no response, and clearly none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. Nice. Short-sighted and ill-advised, in my opinion. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years. I'm sorry, I'll get to the point. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch. I knew you would understand. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kessler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale. Yep, something just came in. Scuffle over at the Dawn's Roost. Security on site handled it, but now one of them is saying the other guy stole his wedding ring. Problem is, he left without identifying the perp, so I need you to talk to Royce Elgin at the Dawn's Roost. See if you can fill in the gaps. Good. Report back here when the matter's resolved. The restaurant over in the residential district caters to a very fancy clientele. It's the kind of place where forks come in different sizes, depending on the food. According to the patron, the ring is valuable, but if I had to guess, not for sentimental reasons. Normally, when someone loses a valuable keepsake, they're heartbroken. The way this guy was acting, it's almost as if he lost a wallet full of creds. See you later.
Selling art is a bit of an art itself, you know.
Oh, please, take a look. Appreciate the business. Curtis!
No,
Monday. I have a feeling today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree? I can't complain. My boss told me yesterday that I'm one of the best janitors she's ever hired. Feels great to be appreciated.
I'm telling you, I would kill to be able to afford a trident.
Tony and I want to see what else is out there. I love my job, but there has to be more to life than just being a janitor in New Atlantis. What about you? Have you gone on any adventures? Whoa. I have no idea what that means, but that sounds really important. I'll keep my eyes peeled for any artifacts, okay?
I'm so jealous of people who...
I cleaned up a kid's vomit today.
I want to
Fourth
try
time
it,
this week.
but I'm not sure it's for me. Do you think I should?
Okay, sounds good.
Well, that depends. Are you a foodie or a shopper? If that's the case, you have a lot of options here in New Atlantis. Don's Roost is probably the fanciest. They have great steaks there. But I'll be honest, I'm more of a chunks girl, and my boyfriend and I can't get enough of Terra Brew. Don't be a stranger. I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
Was attacked by the Crimson Fleet. Argos was mining valuable minerals. They had mined hard enough to attract attention. pirates expected easy prey, but instead they found more than they bargained for. A heated battle ensued between the Crimson Fleet and the miners. Armed with only their trusty mining lasers, the Argo's crew fought off the Crimson Fleet and defended their facility. A surprising turn of events and a victory for us all.
That is just a lack of empathy. They are willing to change if it affects their own life, but not others.
It's weird, because I don't consider them a bad person.
My brother works at Stroud Eklund, and he said Deimos is going out of business.
Wow.
The majority of citizens here in New Atlantis count on Reliant Medical. I believe our reputation speaks for itself. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Excellent. I've been waiting for this. Thank you. Well, everyone knows Reliant, largest medical provider in the settled systems. They've spent decades advancing medical science with their research division, and have built an entire supply network to keep us all healthy. They've always been quite proud to work here. Take all the time you need. May you remain in good health.
안녕하세요.
Oh, hey, what's up?
무슨?
Pardon me?
Tons. Have a good one.
word to the wise. Avoid the stretch.
Hopefully, you're not so used.
Welcome to the Co-Heritage Museum. I offer a brief tour, and I'm happy to discuss the city's history as well. I have artifacts that date all the way back to the time of Solomon Coe himself. That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late. Several that bordered on being incomprehensible. Honestly, I thought it was some kind of strange prank until now. A bunch of gibberish about dire consequences and frequency modulation and genetic reconstruction. It all came across as rather unhinged. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized nor particularly inclined to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry, but it's staying in storage. Everything you see here is a piece of Aquila City's history. Very well. People are proud of their history here, so we get more visitors than I was expecting. So it gets pretty busy here, especially with school field trips. Aquila City was founded over 150 years ago by Solomon Coe, a scientist and explorer from Earth. Along with other settlers, Coe built the structures you see in the part of the city we call the core. Those proud buildings still stand today. The planet was dangerous, so they built a wall around their settlement. Eventually, they ran out of space and started building outside the wall. So much to see in here, right? There were so many buildings that they had to build another larger wall, forming a second outer ring around the growing city. Of course, the city didn't stop growing, and before long, the third wall, the outer wall you see today, was constructed. Today, Aquila City is the proud capital of the Freestar Collective, and the Council of Governors continues to meet here when they need to. Most people know Solomon Coe as the founder of Aquila City and the father of the Freestar Collective. He was an astrophysicist who lived on Earth in a place called Wyoming. Solomon was born around the time people first started living in space. Later in life, he designed starships, and when Earth was in peril, those ships helped to save humanity by taking them to new homes in the stars. The bravery and heroism it took to save humanity. Whew. Goosebumps. During the Great Exodus, Solomon came to this world. He named our star Cheyenne, which was also a place on Earth, and gave Aquila its name too. He and some others built the settlement that would go on to become Aquila City, and his descendants still live here today. If you ever want to learn more history, please visit. Hi. Please feel free to have a look around. It's the reason I started. I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.